Welcome to the Blue Podcast Network. This is the Gold Show, the Premier League show. I'm here with Tom, Matt, and Henry. How are we all doing?
Why do I go last?
Well, because you
I'm sat right next to you.
No, why are you reading into what names go first? I just do it off the top of my head, man.
You know what, Lloyd? You can reset and have me last if you want. I won't care.
Yeah. You know what? I might as well just scrap the whole thing and restart. Anyway, should we get into the first one?
Let's get into it.
Nottingham Forest versus Liverpool. What a game of football last night.
Incredible game.
I will say the football last night, all three games were stellar in terms of league positions, goals scored, and just competitiveness.
Yeah.
I thought, and for context, obviously, this is recorded on Wednesday, and the games were on Tuesday. This comes out on Friday. But
I thought, because I think when there's games like that, quite often it can become quite cagey. But that didn't happen. Especially, I didn't watch the other games as much, but the Forest game, I know Forest were defensive, but that's how they play. They were very good, and they still got forward, and you were obviously not cagey at all.
I didn't think Forest looked particularly uncomfortable defensively in very, very large parts of that game. Yes, they were defensive,
right,
but I didn't think they looked uncomfortable doing it.
No, the first 65 minutes definitely not. The last 25 minutes, that was a total onslaught.
Yeah.
Liverpool should have scored. The chances that Liverpool had,
2 goal line clearances.
Very frustrating watching that and thinking. Said the whole stream, did a TikTok stream last night. Go check it out on the Blue Podcast Network.
Smashed up
stream. And I mean, I kept on saying if we do not win this game, it's 2 points dropped, and we dropped 2 points. It's not a point gain. That's
how drawing works. You do
no,
but
points. Like in terms of the circumstances of the game, right? It depends. You could go away from home.
I'm gonna hate saying this, but they do remind me a lot of us in 15-16. Not
I agree.
Not the position, but the way they're playing. They're defending really well. They're literally just sticking 10 men behind the ball, and as soon as they get the ball, bang, counter, and straight up the pitch.
I don't think it's controversial to say that this Forest team is a lot better than your 15-16 team. In terms of
quality, but that's because it's worth probably about 5 times as much.
You don't have your Mahrez or your Vardy, your amazing talent. But Owen kind of was underrated, in all fairness.
Yeah.
No,
but the point I'm making is the overall quality of the shot. Your Ogazakis, your Fuchs, your
that's
Hoots,
not my point at all.
They are a lot worse than your Olorainas.
No, but you missed my point.
Your Andersons.
That's not my point.
Your Hudson-Odois.
My point is the setup. I think if you look at the way they're playing the football, they're playing it so similarly, and that's why they're doing well, because they're putting men behind the ball and then just going with it as soon as they get it. That's how they scored yesterday. They countered, Chris Wood got the ball, and he's clinical. That's what you need. It's what Vardy was like in that season as well. As soon as he got the ball and he was on goal, he scored.
I think that was literally the only chance they created all game.
Yeah.
Really? What other chances did they have? What other chances did they have? Tell me another chance.
I can't remember off the top of my head, but that was obviously their biggest chance.
I'm pretty certain
there was times where the Liverpool defence looked shaky.
I didn't think they were going to score.
Was it? I'm pretty sure that was the only big chance that they had.
They had other chances, but they weren't.
It wasn't like clear cut.
It's not like they're going to score.
No, there was definitely some.
That was their only big chance.
Yeah, exactly. Which is what I'm saying.
3 shots on target.
But there were other chances. I would disagree with you saying that Forest didn't have any other attacks.
No, I'm not saying they didn't have any other attacks. I'm saying did they have any other big chances? I don't think so.
What I'm saying about them though is they are so similar to us. That season we won it. We literally would have 2 chances a game. We'd win 2-1. That's all you need to do as a team. Like, that's what Forest are doing.
I'll give them credit for the defensive performance because they were unbelievable.
Ridiculous.
But going forward, apart from that, did they do a lot else? I don't think so. Really,
I don't think their attack is as good as people say it is. I think they can be on their day. I think Chris Wood is a great player, and he's thriving in this system. Yeah. But if you put him in a different system, I don't think he'd do anything.
Probably
not.
But
you said it before.
Now I come to think of it. When I come to think of it, though, as
well, that's what you get. You make your system efficient, and you put a clinical finisher in there. You put him in the box 10 times out of 10, he's going to score.
100%, yeah.
No, there was. Now I've thought about it. There was a few times where they would get the ball into the box, and genuinely, if Van Dijk wasn't in the right position, there's a Forest player behind him who absolutely puts it. There was a few times where it was good defending from Liverpool. Yeah, that would stopped very, very good, like other big chances from being created.
Well, exactly.
Van Dijk.
Yeah.
And that's why Liverpool are so good defensively.
Yeah. I remember there was one point Elanga was literally like 1-on-1 with Van Dijk lost man. It's just like, he's not getting past him.
No. He was great again.
It's no
disrespect to Van Dijk.
It's Virgil van Dijk.
Yeah, exactly.
But I think Hudson-Odoi and Elanga, they're good wingers, but are they top 10 in the league?
No.
Chris Wood is top 10 strikers at the moment, definitely. But again, how many of their players get into those top positions? I don't think they're actually that good on paper. It's the way they're playing that's doing well for them.
Well, I want to talk about Murillo because that man was an absolute beast at the back.
Him and Milenkovic are a fantastic partnership.
Yeah, Milenkovic has come in and he's done really well. I mean, Liverpool, please go ahead and sign Murillo in the summer. After that,
if you say it won't happen.
No, but then again, if I do say it, it probably won't happen anyway because we don't spend the money.
He'll go to Madrid, I think. He's a very Madrid kind of player, I think.
If he was playing in Portugal or something,
I'm not sure that he'd want to go with Rudiger and Militao there.
But, I mean, you can imagine the rotation. If Van Dijk does stay, you have Konate, Van Dijk, Murillo, you'll be able to rotate in and out.
You still play Joe Gomez.
Joe Gomez as well.
You would say that if Van Dijk goes, you probably have to. I would say you need to get two top centre backs and then see which one's the best.
We would need two centre backs. If Trent goes, we need a right back. Mm-hmm. We probably need a left back.
Yeah, I think Tsimikas has been.
I was going to say Tsimikas.
Yeah, well, in terms of actual I still think we need a left back at this point. If Robertson's form does not improve as much as Tsimikas is good,
I'm shocked if he starts next game.
Well, he should not have started in the Accrington Stanley game at the weekend. I was baffled to see that Tsimikas started. I would have started Robertson and then played Tsimikas. Mm-hmm. But, Arne Slot, he doesn't get much things wrong. He got that wrong. But his tactical switch, I mean, I love the man. Unbelievable. Bringing off two players, bringing off Konate, and then bringing on Jota and putting Gravenberch as a centre-back.
That took so much balls.
It paid off straight away and the whole game changed. As soon as that happened, I think we had 13 shots afterwards.
My question is, so how good are you in terms of FFP? Because if Van Dijk's going to go on a free and then you have to sign two top centre-backs, how much wiggle room do you have?
I think that's why you're not signing a midfielder this transfer window.
You think?
Yeah.
Saving your money for
You think you're saving your money for
well,
when's the end of the next period?
Because we need to spend. We got to spend.
But I think it is a we aren't certain where Salah, Van Dijk and Trent, I'm sure they aren't certain that all three of those are going to stay or go. No. If all three go, you cannot have spent any money this January to then buy more players.
As much as FSG have done an incredible job for Liverpool, that is poor business to let all three of them get to this stage with no contract.
So I heard a theory, and it might be ridiculous, but I want to present it to you anyway, that they've done this on purpose to get, they've got the ultimate end of contract, trying to get a new contract boost. So everyone's paying out their skin to try and win a new contract.
No,
so
they're
over.
They don't need to win a new contract because if they don't play for Liverpool, they'll play for another top club.
They'll play for Real Madrid, Barcelona,
Bayern,
PSG.
It could be a business tactic.
But you look back at Salah's form, his best seasons have always been when he got the end of his contract.
I think that's more to do with him not quite getting on with Klopp as much, in my opinion.
I disagree with that, but okay.
People get annoyed at their club for not making signings, but this is the thing: you can't spend more than 100 million in a window unless you sell a big player. So
unless you're Man City,
unless you sell Van Dijk for something. I struggle to see where you get the money to bring in a good player.
This is the interesting thing because Arsenal in the past 7 years have spent an average of £88 million.
Yeah.
Liverpool have spent an average of £48 million per year.
£40
million difference per season. And I get that we had a training ground built and new stadium improvements, which obviously cost a lot of money.
They built a whole new stadium.
At the same time, we got to be spending more money. We have to be spending more money.
I don't know if I agree with that.
We got to.
Because you can be clever.
Because you could be like Man United and spend loads of money and not have a very good side.
Hang on.
We have good recruitment. When did Liverpool get it wrong, really?
Yeah. Hang on, but this is what I'm saying, right? You're absolutely right. We've spent loads of money and been shit. You have spent £48 million a season. You've won a Premier League. You've won a Champions League. You've won an FA Cup. Right. You won a Carabao. Have we won a Carabao Cup?
We have, yeah. We won 2 of them.
You can do this by being clever and only spending £48 million, but being clever with future signings and cheap players and free transfers, and still improve and still get better than Arsenal.
I want to caveat that. I think any of you are a Liverpool fan, you're looking at Liverpool right now over the years, right? But I'm saying, if any of you are a Liverpool fan,
can you do it in a Scouse accent like on TikTok?
No, we are not doing that. Although all the comments I keep on getting them.
Scouse accent.
Maybe I will if we hit a certain following.
Should we say on TikTok if we hit? I think we hit 3K.
I don't know. I don't want it to be like
I think if we hit 3
Scousers though.
No, you're not mocking Scousers. You're not mocking Scousers.
Comment yesterday, someone said just say lad after every sentence and you're there.
I think if we hit 3K followers on TikTok within
a month,
I say. Let's say the first 2 weeks of Feb.
Right.
By the first 2 weeks of Feb.
I'll do a sentence in Scouse.
You've got to start a Liverpool watch along for the first 10 minutes in Scouse.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
16th of February. 16th of February is your cut-off date.
First 2 weeks of Feb.
Talking about
16th of February is the last 2 weeks of Feb.
You can just do the Chelsea method and sell 2 hotels, which is somehow not considered cheap.
Yeah! Right.
But that's been cleared. But that's the thing, right?
We've been cleared as well, so I don't care about it.
Before you spent the money from those 2 hotels, they then said, "Oh, actually, that's okay."
Yeah,
Man City just cheated. So
no, but you.
Well, we don't know yet.
We asked first if it was okay.
Yeah, we got to find out.
The thing people forget about Chelsea.
I have a controversial statement about that, but I'm not going to make it.
Alright, guys, can't have 2 conversations.
The thing that people forget about Chelsea.
Our conversation is more important, so
the thing people forget about you is that you have sold a lot of players.
Yes.
And the reason that we were in trouble with FFP is because we had that 21-22 season where we bought, I think, 80 million worth of players, and it was the first year we didn't sell a big name. So, because if you're a club like us or a club like, I don't know, Bournemouth, Wolves, Palace, or someone like that, if you're going to buy big, you have to sell big as well.
Well, 100%.
We're also
different
you
expectations.
don't have to do that.
We're also really smart when we sell players, as we often put clauses in, like the Hazard one. We got like 20 million when he won the Champions League. With the cash,
20 million for a Champions League.
10.
Yeah, it was something like that. It was a good job.
And
then I think with Cassidy, for example, when we're going to let him go, we want to have like a 20% sell-on clause on him. So if he gets really well,
it's all down to different business models.
We don't also see a lot of what the money we get in as well.
Those kind of clauses are the most important. I mean, I'm going to bring it back to Phil Manager, and you're going to sigh. There you go. But that's the first thing I do whenever I make a signing. I always remove that clause because it is so you don't want it in there. If you're the buying team,
obviously, yeah.
Because it's that important to sell it.
I just think people are forgetting that their club can't go and sign whoever they want without selling someone big.
So bringing it back to Liverpool and FSG, as I said, Arsenal spending £40 million more per year. I mean, that's a ridiculous gap considering they're, a side that was outside of Europe for a year or two, didn't have European football, and have only just recently got back into the Champions League. The fact that they're spending more money, and you said earlier in the pod about but if it's working, why not just keep on doing it? Because whenever Liverpool have been on top, they've had a drop-off almost straight immediately afterwards because they've not carried on spending the money. The year after we won the league, right, we bought Takumi Minamino and Sepp van den Berg for the combined £15 million.
You've never been a spending team though. I can't remember a year where Liverpool have spent a lot of money.
But then you've always gone on to win something.
But that's you're the kind of team.
This method works.
Players. You develop players and you buy for cheap and hope that they turn out good.
And this is what we're now we're trying to emulate you now.
Right.
We're now trying to do the same thing.
Do you know?
Record transfer would be
Van Dijk, surely.
Yeah, I believe it's Darwin Nunez now.
Yeah, Darwin Nunez.
But look at that. That's your record signing. He's shit. He's awful.
Van Dijk was probably 35 million from Southampton, something like that.
No, he was more than that.
75 million.
Oh, is that much?
75 million pounds.
That was good money. But you look at Salah was what? Salah's probably 30, 35.
Yeah, 35, 40. I get
it. Look at Nunez and look at the difference.
I get what you mean, but Liverpool on average, we buy 3 players per season, and sometimes some of them are backup players. Like one year we bought Harvey Elliott, Fabio Carvalho, and another player. We've missed out on too many. Bellingham, Caicedo, Lavia, and now Zubimendi. We missed out on 5 first-choice targets.
He's got Arsenal.
Enzo Fernandez was linked with Liverpool at one point. He went to Chelsea.
I just think.
Fucking Jesus.
I completely forgot what I was going to say, but it's
I can't believe that. Sorry, that's really funny.
In this current climate of football, you can't just go and buy an established player. You have to now buy a player who's young and got potential because, it's what we've been doing for years. It's what we built our success on and why we stayed up for so long. When we stopped doing it, it's why we went down.
That's what Chelsea are doing.
Yeah,
you're buying so many young players and that's why you can buy so many. And in 10 years' time, they'll be worth
more.
I get that, but I want to understand why the difference in spending is such a gap with Liverpool
And Chelsea,
to Arsenal, to Chelsea, to City, to United, when Liverpool have arguably been more successful in the past few seasons than 2 or 3 of those football clubs.
Exactly.
Yeah, I guess I argue about FFP, but I'm not a Liverpool fan.
I know me complaining about spending from a big 6 club makes me look. All the other teams, in comparison, they're not spending nowhere near as much money, but you got different expectations. The expectation for Liverpool, for me, is to win the Premier League and win the Champions League and win all the competitions, and that's what it should be.
Every season?
Yeah, it should be. It should be.
Chelsea should be.
That's the target.
Yeah, but if you're
that's the goal.
Only one of you's going to do
I know,
it.
but that's the expectation.
We're not. I wouldn't expect Liverpool to do all 4, but I'm expecting Liverpool to try and compete and win trophies. That's the main thing.
But you are.
Yeah, we are right now, but if Gravenberch or McAllister get an injury, right? We've got Endo coming in, who's a decent player, but is he a top level midfielder? No. We've got Curtis Jones, but he's more of an attacking midfielder. We've got Tyler Morton, who was on loan at Hull City last season. Don't be wrong, decent player, but will he be able to fill the gap? I don't know. We've got certain areas in the team that we need to look at. Zubimendi would have been perfect.
Yeah. He would have been, but the thing is, right? The perfect team. You can build a perfect team of 11 players. You're never going to be able to afford them or keep them all happy.
Yeah.
Like the way I see it. Is this. So you about to cut me off. I was going to stop you. The way I see it is this. You are achieving with this squad keeping to the rules. Yeah. And you make your money with real, actual sponsors and with global revenue, ticket sales, whatever, player sales, whatever you do. And you stick with an FFP. You stick within the rules. And I respect that. I have respect for you because of that.
But so does everyone else.
But no, from
Man City.
But Man City... But that's what I'm saying, and you're competing. So you're not spending as much as Man City, no, but they're cheating.
But we are
but if you see my point as well at the same time,
if you want to spend money,
Chelsea have spent and it's still very much in
FFP. Salah,
Van
Dijk,
bit dodgy,
and
bit less
dodgy,
but
very comfortably in FFP.
I don't think that's the reason you've not signed a midfielder though. I think it's purely because you have so many good players, and you have 2 or 3 really good midfielders. That if a midfielder joins a club, you've got Gravenberch and McAllister to displace. And why would, if you're Zubimendi, would you join Liverpool if you're not guaranteed to start basically
You can say the same about Arsenal though, because they've got Declan Rice, Partey and Jorginho.
Yeah, I don't know why
Jorginho was awful.
He'll play over Partey though, that's the thing. He will.
I think a lot of Arsenal fans disagree.
I'd much rather have Liverpool's midfield than I would Arsenal's.
I just think
Rice is good. Rice and Odegaard are good.
I completely disagree.
But Partey and Jorginho are awful.
Partey, if you
he's been good
you clearly don't watch enough Arsenal games to watch Partey.
Partey has been good
when he plays this season. He's been phenomenal.
He's better than Jorginho.
Now in the current climate for
Murillo,
for football right now, anyway, you need to have three sort of good players. If you've got 2 positions, you need 3 players who are going to be top quality. You need a Zubimendi with Gravenberch and McAllister.
Look at Chelsea, Caicedo, Enzo and Lavia.
Exactly. You rotate those players.
Behind that.
No, I haven't really got any.
It's just frustrating because I can see it coming next season. Yeah. If those 3 players go, we could struggle getting top 4 next year. I can see massive drop off. It's coming if we don't sort it out. If we don't sort it out, that's where we'll be.
And you will sort it out, but you might not spend 50 million per player. You probably will spend 15-20 million on players that are younger and are good profiles that fit the manager.
Yeah, but
because you're good with your recruitment strategy.
Hopefully it works out. But that's a big if. This of course it is. This is different. Salah right now is the best player on the planet. He's got the most goals and assist goal contributions. Virgil van Dijk is arguably the best centre back on the planet right now, and Alexander-Arnold as a fullback is one of the best right backs in the world. You lose all 3 of those players, regardless of who you bring in, you're going to drop off.
If you lose all 3 of those players, you're going to have a bigger budget, but I don't think you will lose all 3 of those players. I think it'll be 1 or maybe 2.
If you win the treble this season, do you not take a slight drop off? Because if it's me, for me, trophies are everything. If there was one season where you have a really good year, you win 3 trophies, and the next season you finish 7th, I don't care. We've won 3 trophies. I'd rather do that than have 2 seasons where we finish 2nd in the league and we get to a final of a cup and lose.
Exactly.
Yeah,
but this is the reason why Chelsea won all those trophies in the early 2000s because we had a drop off. We needed to rebuild. So you now need to rebuild. And when you rebuild, you'll be back up at the top.
We also had Frank Lampard, Didier Drogba, Ashley
I mean,
Cole, John Terry.
Not as good as
Jose Murillo. The only reason we didn't win trophies was Man United weren't as good.
No. That was the question too.
He could only fish.
What would I rather? I'd rather
win
us win the trophies because then you get the trophies on the board. But at the same time, if you go from winning the treble to finishing 7th, you do still give Slot another season. But the year after that, if he doesn't perform, he'll go.
Look at City now. Like that is purely based on their
we
success.
had a drop off. We had a drop off 2 seasons ago. We finished 5th after we got to the four trophies. We had a rebuild stage. Now it should be the few years that we should be kicking on. We shouldn't have another rebuild stage next season. That shouldn't be happening.
But we're forgetting about a situation here where, let's be honest, you should be re-contracting all 3 of these players.
100%.
You won't, but you should be.
Well, yeah, it's aging,
need to rebuild
which is why we're talking about investment and getting players in and money and bringing some signings in.
If you do keep him, my priority for Liverpool next season would be signing a right winger to deputise Salah, so that when Salah does eventually get too old and he's not getting the same numbers,
this is what Chiesa was brought in for.
Yeah.
You know,
but he's not that young.
No, I mean he's 24, 25. He's got plenty.
He's got plenty of time.
He's got
Plenty of time.
It's injury prone.
It's something I think you guys have been trying to do, but you've been trying to replicate what you did with Salah by buying someone for not loads of money.
Yeah,
you got your Harvey Elliott, you got your Chiesa, but they just haven't quite done it.
I mean, Chiesa, I'm still going to give him lots of time because he's been injured a lot and illness and stuff like that. And he looked, I know it was against Accrington Stanley, but he came on. He came on and he looked really, really good. To be fair,
The Elliott situation's weird because it's a bit like a couple of players in our academy who just aren't quite good enough for our first team, but are not good enough, are too good for the academy.
Right.
Like Harvey Elliott, he's not quite good enough to get in your 11, but he's not bad enough to go.
I disagree with that.
He's not bad enough.
I don't get why he's not playing.
He's not bad enough to be in your academy either.
No.
I think for me, he needs a lower level Prem loan
for the system
for the rest of the season.
Right. For the system that we've got, Szoboszlai suits it. He suits it more. Right. But Harvey Elliott should 100% be getting some more minutes over Curtis Jones right now.
Curtis Jones is awful, but
he's not.
Curtis Jones is not an awful football player. Curtis Jones
let's not have this debate again.
But
We're not going to have this
so good this
in
season.
the last few games, right, against Man United, against Tottenham, when he both started, he wasn't really that great. So that should be when Harvey Elliott should be getting an opportunity.
But you look at the profile of player of Harvey Elliott and you look at the profile of player of Szoboszlai. Ignore Curtis Jones. We have our different opinions. Let's not talk about it anymore.
No, that's just a wrong
we're not going to talk
opinion.
About it. We're not going to talk about it anymore. For the love of Christ, would you just listen to me? For the Christ's sake.
Say something correct then.
I am saying something correct. Shush. You look at the way they operate in central areas and then drift wide or start wide and drift into the kind of way you have experience playing wide areas and central areas. They match up really nicely. So when you're resting Szoboszlai, give the minutes to Elliott because they match up nicely in terms of their playing profile.
I disagree with that.
I think either way,
Szoboszlai doesn't go wide.
He does go wide.
Really.
Not really. No.
I mean,
Harvey Elliott is a right forward who can come central with his left foot.
Szoboszlai is a central player who drifts wide. They operate in both areas of the pitch, even if they start in different positions.
Way,
the styles are very different.
I disagree.
Either way, Harvey Elliott isn't playing, and it doesn't appear that he's currently in favour with Arne Slot. That's why I think he's out of all your players.
But Lloyd,
he needs a loan move.
Yeah. On the Harvey Elliott Szoboszlai thing that he said, do you not agree with me that I think their profile of player is very different?
I think it is a little bit different in terms of like the stature that they both have. Obviously, Elliott's a lot smaller, but they both run. They will both run an absolute ton, which I think is a key. That's a key thing for both of them. I want to see him start because towards the end of last season he was really good. Well, I wouldn't want him to. He's not in the Liverpool 11 right now.
Okay,
he's not.
But where would he come on as a sub?
Why does he not get a loan move so he can?
But what I'm saying,
play a whole season?
But he should be. We shouldn't be sending him out on loan. We should be rotating the options that we've got. If Curtis Jones isn't playing well when he's coming off the bench, don't sub him on. Sub Harvey Elliott on instead.
So who are you subbing him on for? That's what I was asking.
Dominic Szoboszlai.
You're by putting him
exactly.
And then Chiesa on for Salah. Chiesa should have come on yesterday.
Szoboszlai's developed his positioning in the last season or so. But when you bought him from RB Leipzig, he was that player who was moving wide.
He can play on the wing. Yeah,
that is the profile of player you have there.
He will regress a lot, though, I think, if he doesn't start getting more minutes very soon.
Well,
I mean, he either needs a loan or
he'll be frustrated if it comes to the summer. He'll want to move probably. He'll want a loan move. I don't think he'd want to leave Liverpool on a permanent, but he'd want to move.
That's why
Should we move on to the other half of the game? Where do you guys think Forest can finish this season?
I still think top four would be...
Top four.
I think that would still be the very, very impressive aim. I think you can say that they could have been in a title race. I don't think they ever really were, but then I know you said the same about Leicester in 15-16, but I just think it's slightly different. But I think top four would still be massive.
Yeah, I think top four. I don't think there is a title race anymore. I think
the game tonight may factor into.
I still think Arsenal's the biggest competitor.
Yeah,
that's what I think.
I do think City will be there by the end of the season. I know they drew to Brentford yesterday. I know that they dropped off at the end of the game. Yeah. But I still think they're on the up and they're going to improve.
I think they're way off it.
You think? I think they'll finish in the top four.
Watching the game, the first 20 minutes, Brentford could have scored 4.
Agreed.
And then the last 20 minutes, Brentford could have scored 4. Like, it was very... But even, they were very much going toe for toe in the second half.
They're too up and down.
Yeah. But you've got to remember that Brentford have held a lot of good teams.
I know. I agree. But also, Haaland looked off it. He was in the position where he rolls off the defender. He's on the left-hand side of the box on his left foot, and he probably smashes it top right.
Yeah,
didn't do it. He had that position.
I think signings matter then for City because if they sign Marmoush, I think they'll definitely finish in the top four.
The only thing
is,
I think Foden might be finding his feet. And if
first goal,
wow. First goal, wow. De Bruyne again did his, for the first time in a long time, his typical whipped cross. That would be I wouldn't say the rest of the team. I didn't think they looked very good defensively.
The signs are there. I think if they can sign a defender in this window, then I think they'll definitely finish in the top 4, 100%.
I saw Savinho hit the post.
He's kicking on.
I think,
but I still think his end product isn't quite there.
You look at how he's moved to this kind of 3-2-4-1, which is, again, no other manager is able to pull it off relatively effectively. He's been trying to make it harder for him. Maybe he's not actually making it harder for himself, but he is, maybe not on purpose, but that he's what he's doing. He's changing the game. He's trying to change football as well as playing football.
Right.
Maybe it's time just to go back to what works. Have actual centre-backs playing centre-back, left-backs and right-backs, actual good defenders in there. Akanji's not bad, but again, I think you can do better. I think you can have a world-class defender. I think Ruben Diaz is that, and he's not playing.
He's injured.
And
Stones has been injured as well.
Yes, that has been crucial. But I think it might be time for him to move away from this
do you
now
think
and
it
go
will
back
work
to a
if
4.
They do because
4,
they're so set up to play that way now that do they even have really that many good traditional fullbacks? Because Guardiola's a centre back, really.
Exactly, which is why they need to go around and buy fullbacks.
But they can't
because they haven't got. They can sell Walker. That's their last traditional fullback. Gone.
But that's what I mean. Then they can't then just change system because they can't go and buy.
They're not gonna. I don't.
FFP.
Yeah, I don't think they
can't buy anyone right now. Really,
they're too deep into this system.
It might be a case where they do it in the summer. It probably happen in the summer, not January. But I still think they need to then, even if they do it every week, I think they need to have the option to play a back 4, a proper back 4.
Yeah, yesterday's game again for Chelsea. Obviously, I don't know if I said earlier in the podcast, I had all 3 games on in the pub.
You did,
which was pretty nice. But it did mean that my neck was quite sore by the end of it because one TV was. I was like this. One TV was there. Projector was there and laptop was there, so I was kind of like, well, shit. Someone else would go like, whoa, then I'm like, okay, well, then they missed a Chelsea chance. I'm like, oh my god. But Chelsea's game yesterday was an antithesis of our season.
That's a big word.
World class first half in terms of chance creation, domination, all over them. Should have been 5-0 at half time. Jesus Christ. But it was only 1. And guess what happened? We let them in, sloppy mistake, let them in with a penalty. Then, I mean, to be fair, Semenyo's goal was unbelievable.
Yeah, I did see that,
I know Achimbon got subbed off, but I don't think the goal was his fault.
Kind of took it wide, went top corner. It's still at your near post. I expect better from the goalkeeper.
No,
it's a great finish, but when you're at your near post, it's such a tight angle.
I think it was very similar to Lissandro Martinez's.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that beat.
But
Alisson.
I also think Alisson could have done better with that one as well.
I heard Hermansen saying this on a podcast. He got asked something, and the guy asking him the question said something about getting beat at near post, and he actually stopped the person asking it and said, "No, I hate that argument because as a keeper, you can get beaten at either of your posts, and it's not worse." Because it might look worse because you're standing closer to that side, but if you're expecting someone to go far post and you're set for that, and they go near post, that's in a way harder to say, even if you're closer to it, because you have to completely change your balance.
Yeah, it's like it's like the Reece James free kick again. He's back for I don't know how long. Scored a banging free kick, but you can tell because because there were so many bodies in front of the Bournemouth keeper.
Was it Travers or Kepa?
It was
Travers.
He couldn't see where Reece was shooting.
Kepa's competition tight. He can't play against Chelsea, can he?
No, he can't. In fact, he's loan tied, isn't he?
Loan tied, sorry.
I don't think
that's it.
He's not been starting recently anyway.
No.
So shockingly bad.
But
you paid, what was it, 90 million for him?
No.
It was close. Was it 80, 90, something like that?
75.
That is
won the Europa League with him though, so it's more European trophies than any other London club.
It is a conversation. Who is a worse signing based on how much that was spent on each of them? Kepa or Karius? Because they've both been shocking, and one of them you paid 75 million.
Maguire tops a lot.
I think Karius led to more. Like you can't. I don't think Kepa makes the mistakes that Karius made in the Champions League final.
No, but you didn't pay 75 million.
But anyway, we're not talking about that. This is a goal show. This is goal show.
No, I mean, I'll say Kepa on that one.
Yeah.
There's this whole facade with Karius. Like he made so many mistakes.
No, he just made
a massive mistake.
He just made high.
Yeah, just lost the Champions League final.
Exactly.
If you watched all three games,
just got the Schalke.
Which was the most entertaining?
He's now the new Schalke goalkeeper.
I would say all three were pretty, like, in terms of chance creation. Maybe I don't know, because actually I'd say all of them. Like all three. If you look at
that good, you can't pick.
If you look at the Chelsea are in 4th, Bournemouth are in 7th.
Something like
that.
Maybe higher now.
Brentford are top 10 against City, who are struggling for form, and then you got basically the top, who were like, Forest were joint second on points. Sorry, Sam and Yusuf, when I said that it's first v second, and Arsenal were above on goal difference. But like, you can't really ask for a better night of football.
No.
In terms of, and that's mental, because it's 3 top 6 sides against Bournemouth, Forest, and Brentford.
Which, you would never have thought
like, what the fuck?
I think that this is, for me anyway, I don't know.
It's the most competitive.
And I think it's the highest quality in terms of the actual teams across the league.
Me and Yusuf were talking about this last night. We went through and so you got your top 6.
Yeah.
And then we went through who else you would class in that level currently, in terms of you can very easily drop points against them. Like, you are not guaranteed points. So when we start off with Forest, obviously first.
Yeah.
Bournemouth, Fulham, Brentford, Brighton, Newcastle, Aston Villa.
Yeah. Yeah, I think
that's already
Brighton are the only one I would
13 teams.
Because I think Brighton have not been at the level this season.
But they can definitely take points off you.
They can, but I don't think they've been at the level.
They've played better this season than I was expecting. I thought they were a lot worse.
So that's already 13 teams in the league that are, if you basically, you are most likely to drop at least 2 points against. And then you've got West Ham, new manager, who are currently, also West Ham are above Spurs in the league currently, considering the season they've had.
Yeah.
Above United as well, by the way.
Oh, yeah, that's true. I try to think about that. It's just a pressure.
Spurs, and then
Everton just brought back David Moyes.
I don't think
could work. And I'm saying, manager bounce currently.
Exactly. And Everton this season, they've taken points off of City, Arsenal and Chelsea.
Yeah.
So
yeah, exactly.
That's
now,
another example.
We're already now at 15 teams in the league.
Yeah.
Like, how competitive is that?
It is very
Ipswich beat us.
But can I just say, this is for me proving the fact that the Premier League is becoming a closed shop for new teams. I think if you're a newly promoted team, the only way you can stay up is doing the Forest model of buying 20 players, breaking FFP, and hoping that you're good enough to stay up the season after as well.
Yeah,
but I think you've got to remember a couple of things. I think it's very competitive between like 2nd and 15th, 16th, because you like you say, teams come up and struggle to stay up, and every year Man City win the league. The reason why I would say it's not the most competitive league in the world is because Serie A changes league winners all the time. So
I'm saying this season's
a bit different, but I still don't think one season then makes you the most competitive.
No, I'm saying this season I think it's the most competitive, because if you were to look at the Serie A, I agree. But I would say from about 8th upwards is is the competitive part of the Serie A, whereas I'm going down all the way to like where you're fucking 16. That's 16th.
The one thing
that's
Serie A
insane.
have had Napoli be league leaders, Inter, Atalanta.
Yeah.
Who else have been at the top?
In terms of
AC have been at the top.
In terms of league leaders, I agree.
The gap's closer, right? But in terms of what Tom's saying here is that if you go through all of the teams and you look at it, there's not been a higher quality from first to 16th. I don't think that there ever has been.
I think that's second to 16th. That's the issue, I think.
Liverpool as well. I think Liverpool are in that bracket.
We're not as good as the team that won the league. We're not as good as the team that won the Champions League. This team, it's a good team, but it's not better than some of the Jurgen Klopp teams.
I can so easily see couple games time, if Forest keep their form, Arsenal get a couple points, you drop a couple points, mate, that title race already opens up again.
Until Liverpool lost to Forest, people were saying, "Oh, how are they winning games? They're just grinding out results. Their luck will run out." That's
not happening.
Liverpool haven't been as good as people are saying they've been. They've won a lot of games, but they've caught teams on off days, and they've scored goals perhaps against the run of play.
You said this, I think, in a TikTok or a live stream.
Right.
How you like the fact that you are first after, like, was it not winning 6 or 7 games a season?
Yeah,
like that. At a normally in a league, you wouldn't have lost or drawn that many games and be top of the table.
No, 100%. We've drawn 5 and we've lost 1 in 20, so we've won 14. Usually Liverpool would draw 7-8 games a season and finish second and not win the league.
Yeah,
we've almost matched that tally already.
Yeah.
So, the
that's
league,
I do see what you're saying. You make a good point.
We won the league in the sense that the points tally for the winner will probably be quite low, because we won it on, I think, 78 points, which most of the other seasons puts you second or third.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think it'll be the same.
The only difference I would say about the 2015 season and this season is I think the rest of the team's quality has gone up.
Oh, 100%.
A lot more.
Yeah,
if you compare to 8 years ago, like 8-9 years ago to now.
No, I'm not disagreeing with that. We caught everyone on the season that they were having off. Everyone was having an off season that year. And as a Leicester fan, I can say that we were lucky.
But I would say even in the off season, Chelsea, Liverpool, City would still be beating the likes of Bournemouth and Fulham. Now,
it's different.
It's completely different.
I think City are having the offest of off seasons, and everybody's getting
still
points.
doing well.
Everyone's getting points against City, and that adds another. You go from 1 or 2.
Yeah, we haven't yet.
Shush. You go from 1 or 2 to 2 to 3, and that does start to go. Okay, you've got quite a few number of teams now that you should be beating that you're not, and teams getting like random wins.
Right.
If City were having an on season, it'd still be more competitive, but I don't think you'd notice it as much.
I disagree with that.
I just think the quality of the teams is good.
Going back to what you said originally, though, I actually think, because you included all the big 6 teams in that, I genuinely don't know. I know that they are 14th, so they're in that bracket still, but I don't think I'm actually that worried about Spurs this season. Like, I think I would fear a game against someone like Bournemouth more than I would against Spurs this season.
I'm saying, like, on their day, I think all of that bracket that I said,
I would have included United in that, but they've improved in recent weeks. So I think now you are starting
undefeated so far this
season. Undefeated in 2025
of Man United. Let's move on to the FA Cup.
Do we get to talk about Man United?
We do.
Yeah.
Arsenal versus Manchester United. Well, into the next round.
6xG. Can we bear this in mind?
Was it 6?
Arsenal had a 6xG.
How much of that was Kai Havertz?
Probably low.
He should have had 3 or 4.
What a shocking
3xG.
player.
Can I just say it?
How about a 3xG?
It doesn't matter.
That is insane.
It doesn't matter though, because you are going out in the next round. So
yeah, that's fine.
We've got to play you. You have our former manager.
As soon as you got drawn out first, I said to my dad, "This is us," and then he nodded, and then 20.
But this isn't where I don't want to crap on United as much as I do like to, but this isn't me just crapping on United for the sake of it. You weren't actually that good.
No.
Arsenal just missed 6xG of chances.
Yeah, well, obviously you've got Kai Havertz in there, who is shocking. As
that was but one of the
worst.
Can we talk about
Bayindir, because he was incredible.
You've got to remember.
The keeper. Yeah,
he made a lot of good saves. But you've got to remember. You've got to remember that he dropped the ball at, I forget who scored their goal. He dropped it at his feet and he tapped it in. So that was a massive mistake that you've got to remember.
You can't hold that against him with the game he had, though.
he had a great game, but don't start thinking he's our new starting goalkeeper.
I didn't say that.
No,
I didn't say that.
No, I know.
He's a fantastic keeper.
There are some fans out there who are going to start thinking that, and I just want to clarify. Hold on, he's still got a massive mistake in him.
He's a great backup, though. I'd say.
Yeah,
you've definitely got a really good backup keeper there.
He's nowhere near Romero's level. That is the ultimate backup goalkeeper. He was the best backup goalkeeper I've ever seen. He was awesome.
Caballero, in my opinion.
You're not saying Kelleher?
Big Willie.
Kelleher. I'd say Liverpool.
Kelleher's got
the best set of backup goalkeepers
right now. Romero on his day was unplayable.
Yeah, but back to it.
Yeah, do you want to speak about it then?
I'm enjoying the fact that we are not losing, which is great, and I can see Amorim's system taking shape, and I can see certain players actually trying, which is fucking amazing. But we still need. We are nowhere near a good team right now.
Agreed.
There are still 5 or 6 players that need to leave, and probably 5 or 6 signings that need to come in to replace them. I am getting excited though because I do really like the system, and there's a lot of cool things you can do in the transfer window.
Time to be excited.
I really like Amorim. I love him. This is exactly right.
The thing with you is exactly what you just said, which is you can see players trying, and I think that's the biggest thing that's changed. Nothing else really has changed. I don't think you've improved in quality, but the players are starting to drop their stupid attitudes, and they are trying more.
Certain players need to go. I think Rashford is the last bastion of.
Bruno's the one
Bruno's attitude.
He always runs and tries it. His attitude in that respect is great. His attitude in terms of stropping around needs to improve, but it's not the end of the world.
I totally agree with you, Henry. Bruno Fernandes is the number one man on that team sheet. You play him
100%.
every single week.
His first name. His first name.
Also,
he's unbelievable.
You look at the difference from match week 5 to now. He's like a completely different player. He's been so much better than he started.
I think he needs to shut his gob.
Yes,
and he needs to stop diving.
He needs to act like a captain, in my opinion. That's my main issue.
I'd take the captaincy off him.
That's what I'm saying. He wouldn't be captain of anyone else.
Right. So if you ask me right now who should be captain in our squad, I'd probably say De Ligt has the most captain-like attributes.
Probably.
Yeah, I'd say.
But I'd still think we need to sign somebody who's.
I don't know if you take it off him right now.
No, because I thought De Ligt was the worst player on the pitch for the Liverpool game.
Well, yeah, he gave away the penalty, didn't he?
But he just looked shaky the whole. He got subbed off, obviously.
I tell you who hasn't looked shaky.
Maguire.
And I'm happy that he's got a year contract. I think he's found his position. He doesn't need the responsibility of captain. Nope. He's the backup centre of the back three is perfect for him because he doesn't have to run, which is perfect. He's not going to be the first name on the team sheet, so he's a good backup. He is.
Sorry.
I thought you were telling me to hurry up.
Sorry, no. My bad.
I'm happy to have him and De Ligt as centre backs, and then we've got Euro and we'll buy someone else.
I know. I joke a lot about him, like about how we conjure out 70 million.
I
love that guy. He's a great player. And people ignore it.
But he's not 70
a really
million.
Good player. He's not a 70 million player, no. But he is a really good defender.
I'd pay 40 in this current climate.
Yeah, 100%.
Also, have you guys seen Lenny? Was it Lenny Euro?
Yeah.
His growth spurt since he joined Arsenal. Sorry, United.
No idea.
No, I haven't.
Have you seen the before and afters? He's grown 3 inches.
Really?
It's actually insane. He's now like 6'4".
That is crazy.
I guess
6'5".
Mate, we knew that was coming as well.
You planned ahead.
It's definitely positive times for United. I'd say right now.
What was that thing that Messi got? It got him on them.
Growth hormone.
Yeah.
But I'm so excited, right? Because our system, right? This is my favourite system, right? The kind of 4-3-3 that transitions to a 3-4-3 with a centre back dropping, midfielder dropping, and the wing back pushing on. I love that system because I want to play it in our charity match, which will eventually happen.
But you want to put me in centre back?
No, I want to put you up front.
Okay, cool.
That's
fine.
Now he's on board.
Where's he playing?
Where am I playing?
I'll have a look later because I can't remember.
And where's Lloyd playing?
Oh,
I'm pretty sure you put him on the bench.
He's my super sub, and he's my assistant manager.
I disagree with that.
Having played five-a-side with him,
he's a tricky winger.
Ridiculous.
He's a tricky
winger.
We're
We're
going to talk about that.
He's a very tricky winger. Do you not see him do the keepy uppies, mate?
So that was really good. You were the best in that one.
How are you?
Look at the blush.
It was a fluke. It was a fluke, guys.
Say again.
How are you keeping?
I can't play football. I love football. I can't play. I can't do anything. I'm gonna tell you what. One of the things that we get offered at Oxford City, where I work now, is like one-to-one training sessions.
You're gonna do it?
I might get.
I think it's a good idea.
Yeah,
I might get
some.
some.
You should.
I think
learn
you should.
to play.
He can get subbed on and ball out.
Yeah. But let me talk about signings and system stuff because it's really exciting me that like our system now really fits a couple of really cool players. Like I think the links to Real Madrid have died down since Trent was linked. So I think Frimpong's available. and I think he would suit this system perfectly.
Probably
I
would.
think
He would,
you
yeah.
could go and get Mateus Cunha is gettable. And I
Yeah.
think he could be really fun to have in there.
I think he's.
We'll sell him to
I
a Prem
think.
club, though.
I think the
he
Osimhen link's
start.
strong.
I wouldn't want Osimhen in my team personally. That's just
Especially with the attitude issues at United.
and
I think.
and I know
think
and I
he
know
can
and
go
I,
right
and
back.
I know
say it.
and I know like you can say, oh, we don't know what happened behind the scenes, blah blah blah. I just think there was too much that we saw from Osimhen that indicated there was an attitude issue.
I think some players have attitude until they make it to the big club, and then when they get there, they quieten down.
Sanch.
Hmm?
Sanch.
Well, that's the other. That happened the other way around.
Yeah.
We need players who are going to
Yeah,
want to
he went
fight
to a
for.
big
Yeah.
There's a strong link between a lot of people in Nigeria and Man United. There's a lot of following for our club in Nigeria, and a lot of people see it as like the best in the world and all that kind of stuff. So I think you see it with Odion Nagala, how much he loved being at Man United. I think it's an aspiration potentially for Osimhen to come to Man United, and once he gets here, he's like, okay, I need to fight for the badge. That kind of attitude.
I think it's actually very similar with Chelsea, especially that, you know, there's like,
Where's
you know,
your
you've got
link?
Mikel who does a podcast, and that he has a massive link with where's he from, Nigeria as well, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
John Obi Mikel.
Obviously,
Yeah.
Drogba, SCN. We have a massive
Ivory
following.
Coast.
Ivory Coast as
Ivory
well.
Coast is a great one.
Do you actually think Osimhen's good enough?
Yeah.
I do. Yeah.
Yeah.
Serie A is a fantastic league, and he was
but
scoring bags of
Why has
goals.
he then gone on loan?
He's gone on loan to Galatasaray.
That's because he fell out with Napoli.
Yeah, he fell out with the Napoli
Why didn't he go
board.
somewhere better?
Because
we
they
don't
left it too
know.
late.
We
It was
don't know.
past the transfer deadline for
Yeah.
most of the leagues.
Yeah.
So the only one that was
Right.
open was the Turkish league.
Turkish league, yeah. But I wonder if Napoli hadn't sent him on loan, would he have played for Napoli?
No.
Was he willing to
No.
play for Napoli? Or was it Napoli
No.
just going, okay, you want to leave, you're gone?
I think it was also a Napoli were like, even if you stay, we are just not going to.
Well,
But
play
I
you.
think that might have come from Napoli rather than him.
Yeah.
I wonder if he
Well,
went,
but to
respectfully,
fall out, but
I'd
to
like
fall out with
but
the
I run-
whole club.
Osman could have gone to the board and gone, right, respectfully, I'm handing in a transfer request. I want to move to a bigger club, which is fine. You can do that. He might not have
Yeah.
skipped training. He might not have done anything
Mahrez
bad.
did.
I'm
Exactly.
And our
yeah.
fans still love Mahrez.
I'm not
Exactly.
sure. I'm not sure if Napoli have changed owners over the years, but I think the last time I checked it was De Laurentiis, and he has had issues with certain players over the years. So I'm not, maybe that's a reason to it potentially. Who knows?
You have to not be so arrogant, because like if you know you've got a good player and you know that you're not the best club in the world,
Yeah.
eventually they're going to want to move on. We know that. Like
Yeah.
Mahrez, when he handed in the transfer request and he started skipping training, people were annoyed, but they're like, it's fair enough.
I mean,
he's
exactly.
Mahrez
Yeah.
is really good. He can do what he wants.
Well, I believe like Koulibaly had an issue, I think, with Napoli at one stage. But that's when he went to Chelsea. I don't.
That was bringing in people more than
bringing in people more than
him actually.
Yeah.
I think it was.
I
He
think-
knew his time was.
No,
was
yeah,
going.
but
Napoli can be temperamental. I reckon once
Yeah.
he makes it, I think he screams the kind of player who once he makes it to that big club is fine.
I don't. Yeah, I
Personally,
just don't, I don't know if we can really look into problems
You could do a loan to buy and then
at
potentially if it
Napoli
doesn't
for
work.
that. But
Can we quickly
yeah,
touch
okay.
on Manuel Ugarte picking a fight with the entire Arsenal squad?
Okay, so for context, I've got to preface this. I
Yeah,
have
go
to
on.
preface this. I'm going to do it straight in the camera. So just after that, the Arsenal United game where Arsenal got a 6xG. Bear in mind, Henry put in face swaps of Ugarte's face on Roy Keane and Lisandro Martinez on Vidic.
Right. Okay.
Like,
did you not see that in the group
like,
chat? He
no.
sent it
Like-
in, didn't he?
I had to say, I understand where you're coming from because you just beat Arsenal, and yes, they were very aggressive, but fuck me, they are nowhere near.
No,
there is. I don't know if you can see. There's genuinely a little tear in my eye. Like, it's been a long time since I've seen two players
I'm just worried for
be
you.
this brutal. I miss football when it was more physical.
I'm
I'm
worried for when you
worried
get let
for
down
you
by
though.
them.
If you're getting this excited about
Yeah.
one game and doing that, I am so worried about what's going to happen when it just goes wrong.
I'd really love
Yeah.
Southampton to win tomorrow.
Well,
night.
it'd be beautiful. Wouldn't it? Mate, yeah. Tune back. Should we do a quick score prediction for Southampton United?
4-0.
If we win today, then I want Southampton to win. If we lose today, then I want no one to suffer
Right,
around us.
Yeah, but my point
Surely they're
is
too
this,
far
right?
gone.
Like we haven't had a midfielder be that dominant, physical, ball-winning midfielder in a long time, and Ugarte
Yeah.
is like fighting for his team and like getting in people's faces and like defending and attacking. Big tackles, taking people out. Love it. And Martinez, the Butcher. We have a player in our team whose nickname is the Butcher. How fucking amazing is that?
Yeah, I mean, he has been butchered multiple times.
Yeah.
So it's not the greatest. He's a good player, though. I do rate Martinez. I do like it.
I will say because he butchers it.
I think he's better slightly further forwards. I think this season he's been found out defensively quite a few times.
I think as the rest of the team gets better and as we move this back through system,
that could happen,
he'll press into that channel and look a lot better.
I have a question based on that, right?
Yeah.
So I know you wouldn't have watched the game. We won 6-2 against QPR. Did you see Wout Faster's goal?
Yes.
No.
It was David Luiz-esque.
It was ridiculous.
Did he just
basically
that just because he's got the same haircut.
No, if you told me that was David Luiz, I genuinely would have gone fair enough.
Because his haircut's the same.
QPR won the ball.
That was what makes it look like it's
exactly. That's what I'm saying.
QPR won the ball off of one of our set pieces. They head it backwards and then they try and get it forwards. So he sprints forwards. He wins the ball. He takes a few touches and just bangs it as hard as he can. And it goes flying in.
I mean,
do you think
that sounds awesome?
Do you think he would be better suited to a CDM? Because we know he's not a good centre back. But he's good on the ball.
Is he?
He just has a mistake in it.
Would you say he's good on the ball?
He seems like a pressing centre back. He seems like
I think he could be a really good CDM.
A half back,
really think
maybe.
He could, because I think he's too calamitous at the back. He makes errors.
But if you play a back three,
if he has someone behind him, then maybe he'd be all right because he's got the ability on the ball. He can hit one, and he's made many runs into the box before and got there.
Do you know what I was saying earlier about playing a 4-3-3 with a centre mid dropping back into the back line? That's where half-back.
He could be a CDM there. Like he could play instead of Ndidi potentially when he's back if he can do it well.
I mean, I wouldn't go that far.
I would love to see potentially in the cup against you because it probably doesn't matter.
Yeah,
I'd love to see Ruud try that role for him because I think he can do it really well.
Do you think if he's got the ball and his back is to the attack? Do you think he's going to be able to turn quick enough and get the pass? It's very interesting because I've got a lot of Trent Alexander-Arnold comments on the TikTok live stream saying that he should play in midfield. He is a right back.
I think rather than turning though, he'd pass it back and then he'd get into space and then receive the ball again.
But I don't see that, right? So again, I think what would happen is out of possession, he'd come sprinting out, running out, try and win the ball up high. You have two other centre backs behind to form a back four. When possession is won, he holds his position. The defensive line steps up to form that back three. The wing backs push on, and he becomes a centre back.
I just don't think it would.
That's how he's trying to get us to play.
And try and recycle possession into wide areas.
I don't think it would work. I've seen people suggesting it, and I did think it's quite an interesting.
Right. From what you've said, it does make sense.
But I don't think he can play centre back. Apparently, he wants to leave anyway, so it doesn't.
Right. We've got one more game to cover. Tamworth Town against Tottenham Hotspur.
Have some respect for non-league.
Sorry, man.
Worst team in London. We know what you are.
I mean,
fucking hell.
How can you be?
What minute did they score?
In the extra time.
Yeah, but
was it 100 minutes?
Was it hundreds? Oh wow!
I will say the Tamworth winger, he's going to go for a bit of buck.
I thought he was the left winger.
The left winger.
Yeah, he was
brilliant.
Really
I want to talk about Hollis, the centre back,
and then the roulette,
and then he cleared the ball off the line for one of the goals.
Did you say what he said? Did you see what he said afterwards?
No.
He said, "I've never tried that before. I don't know what came over me. I've never done that before."
Isn't he in his 30s as well?
Yeah.
I think he's a plumber as well, isn't he? Something like that.
Yeah, I think Postecoglou said to him well, you
sign for us
with that skill.
Yeah. But yeah, the tricky winger, he works part-time at Zara.
Yes.
Yeah.
So bear in mind, there was 97 places between Tottenham and Tamworth.
100%, yeah.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
They weren't even in the leagues.
Imagine if
90
we had
minutes.
replays.
Yeah. You know, it would have made them a minimum of $1 million.
Well,
and their average income is 1.6.
Exactly. This is why replays should not have been scrapped.
A million allows us to relay our entire pitch.
Before we move on to the argument about replays, I do just want to say I've always quite liked him, but I have even more respect for Ange now because they were playing a non-league team. He could have played an academy team, but instead he played a very strong 11 for what they had available. I know they did badly and they nearly didn't even win. But
Ange is too good for
Porro gave away the ball 40 times.
But he played a strong team, and that's not quite often when these games happen. They don't play a strong team, and that gained respect.
Right.
And
I think it's probably because he's like, thank God I didn't.
I'm going to make a controversial statement.
Well,
yeah.
I just think Ange, he's such a good sport. I love that man. I think he's.
I'm going to make a controversial statement now. Take those players and Ange and put them at a different club in the Premier League.
They win comfortably.
They win. They're a top 4. They are a fantastic team. It's the Spursy curse. They cannot win anything.
I think that Bergvall.
They're going to lose to Newcastle.
Bergvall, I think
he's so underrated. Spurs fans don't like him.
No, he didn't start that game because he's a starter.
No, but I know that before the Liverpool game, I was talking to a Spurs fan. He said, Bergvall's rubbish. He can't do anything. Ever since that goal against Liverpool,
didn't he go back to
everyone
Ajax?
loves Bergvall.
I mean,
no.
Bergvall, not Bergwijn. Bergvall.
The Swedish guy. Yeah.
They were all saying, he's rubbish. And ever since he scored that goal against Liverpool,
he's been good. He's been really good.
I think
I've been very impressed.
They've got to back the young players in the team. Archie Gray's playing out of position.
And
you've
got
to praise the players.
Saar, Bissouma, Bentancur.
I've got a question though. What they didn't play? They played like one academy player in that starting team. They played their starting centre backs because of the injuries.
Well, it's not starting, but it's starting.
But starting currently, you're supposed to the whole point. You're playing Tamworth Rovers, isn't it?
No,
I don't know what the
town.
I think it's just Tamworth
FC. It's just Tamworth FC.
Whatever it is.
When I said Tamworth Town, I don't know why I said that. It just popped in my head.
Yeah,
but
Tamworth FC.
Surely you don't start your 2 starting centre backs when you have no other centre backs. That makes me. I'm posing the question where's their academy here?
Well,
they're supposed to be a top 6 club.
There's a guy called Dorrington who all the Spurs fans wanted to play, and he was on the bench.
But if it's United, if you were that on death's door in terms of centre backs, you would start academy boys.
I remember we started Maguire and Jones once in the cup.
But you're playing Tamworth, you're Liverpool, you're on death's door in terms of centre backs. You start some academy boys.
So there are a couple of
Leicester probably do the same thing.
There are a couple of points that I would make.
That's why I was annoyed against QPR. We played our first team, and there's a guy. That's
a confidence thing.
I think because I saw the team and I said he's played that team because he wants us to win big and try and get some confidence. Yeah. But there's a guy called Will Alves who's been on the bench for a couple of Premier League games. He's this massively talented youth player. How he didn't get any minutes is beyond me. Why was he not on the bench?
Next year.
That's concerning me. If I was a Spurs fan, that concerns me that your academy isn't.
But I don't know
even playing against Tamworth.
First of all, we could next week we could have those other centre backs fit. We don't know what the state of their injuries are.
They're not playing next week.
Who we don't know.
I'm pretty certain, having looked at it, they're not playing.
No, but
the other thing is, I heard this on a TikTok, right? Basically, what they could be doing is trying to get those 2 centre backs comfortable together, getting minutes, so that when you get to the next Prem game, they've played a few more minutes together.
I understand that, but I very rarely see a Spurs academy prospect actually come through.
They had Dane Scarlett. They had Troy
who's not come through. He's got
Troy Parrott looks good at the moment in the Eredivisie.
When I saw that team and I saw them playing, that niggling
Oliver
thought.
Skip.
But he's now at Leicester.
Alfie Devine.
Skip is going to come through.
But I'm saying
Harry Winks.
Harry Winks. I will argue until my.
I'm sorry, I shouldn't have started this.
He is ridiculous.
He's not.
Anyway, really
Alfie Devine is good.
He's not ridiculous.
He played the Champions League final.
Yeah, Champions League final. Anyway, Liverpool, you've got Trent, who's one of the best right backs in the league. Yeah. You've got the whole fucking class of '97 from United. 92. Sorry,
for the love of Christ, man.
Whatever. You've got at Chelsea. I mean, you've got
Cobham.
The Cobham Academy all over the world at this point.
And Sick Academy, good academy. Sick academy.
Decent enough. Really decent academy.
Spurs' academy. No, it just niggled. You know when you're sat there and you're like, something feels wrong. And I just that's what.
It's even like us. We've not had I wouldn't say the most amazing academy over the years.
No, but
we've got right now. We've got Jones, Trent, Quanza's come through. We've got
2 out of 3.
Gerard was from your.
Gerard from the academy. Yeah, Gerard from the academy. Michael Owen, Steve McManaman. You've got all these players who've come through the academy in previous years.
But you have got to remember that in the past, the academies were used a lot more, and so you will have a class of '92.
But even then,
like Jayden Dance for Liverpool, comes on, scores a goal.
Common back then, though.
But I'm saying in the last 20 years, I've not really seen a Spurs academy person step up.
Was it Kane academy?
If we talk about Kane was
Kane was Arsenal to Tottenham academy, but you could count him.
Kane was an academy graduate. If we're going to talk about 20 years, Kane does 100%.
Yeah,
but
he also, he wasn't at Spurs academy for the majority of his academy.
Oh wait, Sheffield United. Does it?
Wasn't he only there for like 2 years?
It's like there's so many players like that though. It's like you can't count Harvey Elliott in the Liverpool academy.
You wouldn't say Harvey Elliott's academy graduate.
You can't count really Stefan Bajcetic. He came in from Celta Vigo. But a lot of people would say, he's come through at Liverpool.
That's a disgrace, by the way. The fact that Fabio Carvalho was such a good player, you took him and then just sold him in the summer weirdly, and then he's not playing for Brentford now
because he was not at the level to play for Liverpool.
He was not good enough for Hull.
Anyway, I just wanted to have that.
Yeah,
he was fantastic for Hull last season.
Yeah, but Tottenham were they've got through and they've got Villa away. What do you reckon the score will be in that one?
3-0, 4-0.
What to Aston Villa?
2-1 to Villa.
Yeah. Okay.
Can we very quickly predict the scores for tonight's games?
What games are tonight?
So there's
North London derby. Yes.
North London derby. There's Crystal Palace v Leicester because I'm going.
Yeah.
Cheeky flex.
Yeah. Well, I go to every game. It's not a flex. I travel 2 hours every time.
It is mental how far you travel.
I this week. So from Saturday to Saturday, I will have travelled 14 hours to watch my team.
Oh, wow.
Because I'm going to 3 Leicester home games.
Commitment.
Let's go quickly. Everton Villa.
Everton Villa 1-1.
1-0 Everton.
1-0 Villa.
2-1 Villa.
Leicester Crystal Palace.
2-1 Crystal Palace.
3-0 Crystal Palace.
Really? You think?
3-1 Crystal Palace.
I think 2-1 Leicester. Wait, are you all just saying that because I'm here though?
No,
I
genuinely think
Crystal Palace they're starting to get going.
They should
good. I don't think they're that good away.
Anyway, Newcastle Wolves.
3-0 Newcastle.
Same.
3-2.
3-1.
I think 3-2. I think Wolves score.
Is Cunha still suspended as well?
Shall we have a look?
Yes.
Then 100%.
Actually, I'm going to make it 3-1.
Wait. Let me check.
Wait. North London derby.
North London derby.
He's 1-1. He's not suspended.
See, this is the thing, right?
He's not suspended.
Not suspended.
Then back to 3-2.
Yeah. Tottenham look awful.
I don't want.
No.
Answer.
1-0 Tottenham.
Oh!
Because they always do this.
3-1 Arsenal.
You think Arsenal scoring 3?
Yeah.
1-1.
They always do it.
I've gone 1-1.
Tottenham are a team that will beat the big teams and lose to the little teams.
Well, tomorrow as well. So we've got Ipswich Brighton.
Right. Ipswich Brighton. I'm going to go for 2-1 Brighton win.
2-1 Ipswich win.
2-1 Ipswich win.
2-1 Ipswich win, I reckon.
Yeah.
And
at Portman Road.
United Southampton.
4-0.
2-0 Man United.
4-0.
0-0.
9-0. No, I'm joking. 3-1. Southampton just aren't good enough.
I hope
this comes out on the Friday. All of those games will be played. So do let us know if we were right or wrong.
Yeah. Exactly that.
Exactly.
Yeah. That's
good. That's a good idea. Yeah.
Should we cut that? So that
we're not going to do FPL this week as it's pretty much.
I got a good score.
We're halfway through the.
But I got a good score. I got 85.
I mean,
you're on
that was
36. Last week.
Yeah, did we cover it last week?
Yes. Yeah, we covered it last week. So
well, I've got 36 points so far.
So everyone's not doing too badly, but we'll update it next week. That's for sure. Thank you ever so much for watching this episode of The Gold Show. If you have enjoyed, please make sure that you like, subscribe, and turn on your post notifications so you get notified every time we upload. Also, go check out all of our different socials, our TikTok, where we do live streams every day.
Check out Lloyd.
Yeah.
He's really good.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys.
It's really hot as well.
Oh, stop it.
Right.
Right. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you for the next one.
He knows my girlfriend anyway. It's fine.